he called out? Dylan Dennis and Conor McGregor. That's what he called out. Good luck. Good luck getting the Conor McGregor fight. But also,
that was just because. That was just to have his name put together with Conor McGregor.
And you know who's to blame for that? Do you know who's to blame for Jake Paul even thinking he can do something like that?
Who?
Conor McGregor. For him being such a mainstream star that he could call out arguably the greatest boxer of all time, have no professional boxing matches under his belt, and go fight him on the biggest stage ever. Because of that, you got guys like Jake Paul who are delusional enough to think that, A, they deserve to be on a card with Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, Badu Jack, and then he's delusional enough to think that he can call out somebody like Conor McGregor. And I'll even give it he's delusional to call out Dylan Dennis. Please make that an MMA fight. Please. Dylan Dennis would rip his knee apart in 15 seconds. 15 seconds.
I was sitting here thinking about how different MMA is from boxing, and how it would surprise me if you would ever see like a YouTube guy come to MMA and actually have an MMA. I mean, look at because I guess I don't know if it's just because of how much extra training it takes because of all the different elements that are in MMA versus boxing. Yeah. But you're never going to, I don't think you're ever going to see Jake come over and do like a UFC fight or even a Bellator fight or even amateur. I don't see it. I don't think it's possible.
Well, look, if there are two guys who could potentially do it and who I could see doing it, it's those two guys, the Paul brothers. They both come from wrestling backgrounds. Like I said, they're both athletic dudes, man. They know how to move.
Yeah.
Which is, look, one of the biggest criticisms of CM Punk when he fought in the UFC is it was very clear that he's not an athletic guy. He's not. His move, the way he moved in the octagon, the way he threw punches, the way he defended himself, it was not someone who's naturally athletic. It's someone who had been through some training and was trying to learn, but it was already too late in his life for him to learn that and be efficient enough to compete in the UFC. But look, if either of the Pauls were to fight MMA, I think they both should go through the road. I mean, they should pay their dues. They shouldn't just immediately start fighting in the UFC. They shouldn't. They probably will if they do. So I don't like that attention coming to boxing because, again, it's just more explaining we have to do. That fight was the shit show of that card. I don't like seeing guys who don't belong in there get hurt like that. Nate Robinson got KO'd. He was out before he hit the floor, and then his face bounced off the fucking ground. It's not good, man. Look, it's not a good look.
Like with these two guys, do you think they were any part of the draw for this card? Do you think there's anybody else on the card that was a helpful draw besides just being Tyson and Jones Jr.?
Well, I would love to say that Badu Jack helped, but I know he didn't because he's not a draw. It sucks. Like I said, he's a former champion. He's a beast. But I know that he didn't draw. And that's why he was fighting before Jake Paul. So, yeah, Jake Paul brought all of the shitheads from the internet that I don't really give a fuck if they like boxing or not. I don't care. I don't want you to watch boxing. In fact, I don't even want you to watch MMA. Stay on the internet. Stay a troll. Be a troll. I don't want them to be – I don't want them liking the same things that I do. I just don't. But but yeah, he brought –
You're a child.
Look, man.
I get it, though.
But I'll tell you why. And it goes back to me saying that this is the reason that I can't stand sports media right now is everyone feels like they need to be a troll to get clicks. So immediately after that knockout, there are people who are considered to be legitimate journalists within the boxing and MMA community posting memes about Nate Robinson. I'm sorry, but that's wrong. I don't agree with them. Have some class. Have some dignity. Like, care about your job, instead of your Twitter followers and your clicks. Like, I get it. It's how you earn your living, but couldn't you have found a more creative way to express your opinions on that fight? So I don't know, just join the rest of the trolls, I guess. I guess that's the easy way out. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. It's never something that I'm going to do. I'll troll the trolls, you know. I'll troll the trolls. Believe me. I trolled Stephen A. Smith last weekend when or on the day after Thanksgiving when the Cowboys lost and he showed up on SportsCenter with a cigar and a cowboy hat. He's a fucking dick diver, dude. I can't stand him for so many reasons. It started with his treatment of his coworkers, which he did on television. I don't know how he got away with it. I've already talked about that. But now it's like, hey, the Cowboys are 3-7. Time for you to move on. They're 3-7. They're not going to make the playoffs. Their star quarterback is out for the season. Their star running back can't get it together. He's clearly not right mentally. Move the fuck on. You're just a troll. You're not a journalist. You're not an analyst. Move on.
There's only one thing in what you just said that I might have to disagree with, and there is a possibility they could still make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. And I hate, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I go, they're going to make the playoffs now. Thus giving him more of a platform to talk shit.
Right.
Yeah, they very well still could. It's going to take a miracle, but yeah, they're still mathematically in the playoffs, I guess.